You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hey, Sarah. How are you?
I am great. Continuing into this new year.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're looking at episode 70, which boggles my mind, but here we are, January 8th, Sunday through Saturday, January 14th. You say a bit of a calmer week or less eventful, or how do you want to start?
Yeah, well, we're kind of coming off of the New Year's Day week, kind of, it was kind of an odd beginning to the year because it's Sunday, the New Year's Day.
Right.
But what I want to mention is that next week is a powerhouse loaded week.
Okay.
Because the sun is moving towards a conjunction with Pluto on Wednesday, the 18th.
Okay.
However, this week, the 8th through the 14th, we may begin to feel that because Pluto is such a little condensed powerhouse of a planet, right?
Yeah.
And then the sun is working its way through Capricorn, the end of Capricorn,
right.
And it's only 6 degrees away from Pluto as we open the week on January 8th. So as we open the week on the 8th, the moon is in Leo.
Okay.
And makes a lovely series of events. It's just the moon in Leo is very demonstrative and somewhat generous and kind of showy and on the bad side, but on the less positive side, it can be kind of almost tacky and kind of, look at me kind of, doing really kind of look at me things. But the moon opens up the week in Leo, and then Mercury trines Uranus, which is really great for getting insight. So Mercury is in Capricorn, early Capricorn, and it's making a trine over to Uranus, which is in Taurus. So this is an Earth trine,
right? And
very good for grounding ideas, for writing things down, for bringing ideas out of the etheric realm into the three-dimensional realm.
Yeah.
So it's a good day, especially with the earth signs. It's a good day to map out, to scope out, and then to begin building a model or something that is actually tangible, something that you can hold in your hand, like the plans, like actually beginning to scope out what a project might look like, what are the components, how you might roll it out, how you might segment out the work, and then either building a model or having just something on paper even that is bringing it down into more of a concrete form.
Yeah.
That is just beautiful for this week. It's also an experimental attitude. It can give us a little bit of a sense of, especially the moon in Leo, something of a self-expression of unusual viewpoints or different ideas that you might not have had before because Uranus is involved, Uranus and Taurus. There can also be technical inventiveness. So if you've been stumped on a problem, you might be able to work it through, whether it's a car repair or a computer repair. It doesn't matter. It's that kind of thinking outside of the box that will lead you to discovering how you can solve the problem, whatever it is. Yeah. So Monday the 9th, we also have a great aspect, Venus trines Mars. So Mars, of course, is in Gemini. That's an air sign. And Venus is over in Aquarius, that's another air sign. So they're quite harmonious in their thinking.
Yeah.
Venus, of course, is our love nature. Mars is the masculine principle of protection and being the protector. And so there's this complementary sense of Venus trine Mars, a way perhaps to discover your passion or perhaps getting together with another person to scope out or come up with a vision, a plan, working together on a hobby or something creative, because Aquarius is very again, like Uranus the day before, trine Mercury, Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, is very much that activated mind of problem solving and thinking outside the box. So Venus is over there in Aquarius, Mars is over in Gemini, really wanting to process information. That's really what Mars in Gemini has been doing. It's going back over ideas, policies, things that happened, timelines. It's going back over these things and thinking things through and wondering if those decisions that it made were correct. And then when it starts moving forward again, it will still be in Gemini, but it will bring all of that cogitation with it, kind of pulling it along. So there's a lot of thinking going on while Mars is in Gemini. And when it trines over to Venus, this just helps to kind of spark some creative ideas. The moon in Leo on Monday the 9th will oppose Saturn. So this is, again, this cautionary note to just weigh out your self-expression with discipline, patience, working through the things that you need to work through and not getting kind of overly, moon in Leo can be overly ambitious, over the top, having more things on hand than you can have time for, that kind of thing. So that opposition to Saturn will help structure things a little bit. On Tuesday the 10th, the moon is going to be in late Leo and it's going to make a quincunx to Pluto. So, yes. So this is always, these quincunxes are very, they're just you have to accommodate. So whenever you hear or see in your ephemeris or in your moon notebook that the moon is making a quincunx to another planet, know that it's an accommodation. It's an aspect of accommodation. It's not quite an opposition and it's not quite a trine. It's 150 degrees and it needs to be accommodated. So moon in Leo, not quite opposing Pluto. It's making a quincunx to Pluto. So it's the moon in Leo, again, expressive, demonstrative, big ideas, open-heartedness. Leo is that way. Pluto in Capricorn is not that way. It will never be that way. It is working to actually deconstruct not so much ideas, but physical structures or habits of mind over in Capricorn. So there might be an opportunity to vent some truthful feelings. That's not always great, but if it's coming at you, you can just know that there might be a little tension involved and you can just kind of step aside, like you don't have to be in the line of fire. You can just kind of make a quincunx yourself and step out of the way. So if there's something coming at you, just step out of the way. You don't have to be opposing it. You can say, let me think about that. Or
I'll get back to you.
I don't know about that. The moon will ingress Virgo and then make a quincunx to Jupiter. So you may want to nail things down. You may feel that if you don't, that it's the end of the world because Jupiter just makes things bigger than they need to be. Moon in Virgo wants to make that list and work it through. Quincunxing Jupiter, you might not have the opportunity. There might be stuff you got to do and you can't go through the things that you want to do in the order you want to do them. That's very Virgo. It's got to be done in a certain order and it's got to be done today. Well, it might not work out that way with Jupiter quincunxing the moon.
Fair enough.
Again, a little self-control will go a long way. Moon in Virgo still on Wednesday makes a lovely trine to Mercury in Capricorn. So this is an earth trine. So again, it's kind of that idea of earth, like we had up at the top of the week, Mercury trine Uranus, this earth trine. Here we have the moon in Virgo trine Mercury in Capricorn. So it's again an earth trine. So bringing those ideas down into some concrete form. Being clear, especially with your language, is going to be really helpful. It's a really great time for cooperative projects. So collaboration. Ideas are flowing. Moon in Virgo trining Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury is at home in Virgo.
Yeah.
So it's like these guys are best buddies. They want to talk to one another. When the moon is in Virgo and Mercury's in Capricorn, you're going to get those ideas about how to problem solve again.
Great.
It's going to be really, really, really helpful for whatever it is you want to ground.
Yeah.
Mars stations direct in Gemini on the 12th. This is fantastic. Finally, we've been waiting for this. It's not going to be out of Gemini.
I was going to say,
that doesn't happen until March.
Right.
But at least it's going direct. Now, this Mars, as it slows down all through, the early part of January, and then it gets to the 12th, it's still stationary direct. So it's very still in the sky. It's very stationary. It doesn't start picking up steam for another week or so. So it's going to hover around 8 degrees Gemini. So wherever you have 8 degrees Gemini in your chart, that degree is going to be activated early Gemini.
Okay.
And it's staying there, between the station leading up to that Mars station and then going away from that Mars station time of Thursday, January 12th, that Mars is going to be really potent in Gemini because it's going to be so still. So I want to caution any of the air signs to just be extra careful with your words, because Mars being so powerful at its station can lead you to say things that you might not normally say. It's still, even though Mars is now going to begin in direct motion, it's still a very tender time to just be very, very watchful and mindful of what you say.
Okay.
The other thing that happens at the same time is, as it's stationing direct, it's in a trine with Venus still. So it wasn't a trine at the beginning of the week, right? We talked about that.
Yep.
Venus trine Mars, right? So by the 12th, Venus is still hanging out in that trine.
Okay.
And then there's another planet, Maki up in Libra. That's a grand air trine.
Okay.
Pretty amazing for grounding ideas, looking forward. Maki is a dwarf planet.
Yes.
It's a trans-Neptunian object out there beyond the Kepler belt.
Yep.
And it's noted for its vision.
Right.
It's a higher octave planet of Uranus.
Yeah.
So if we go from Mercury to Uranus, that's one octave. If we go from Uranus to Maki, that's another octave. And while we have this trine and Gemini is involved with it, with Mars there, Mercury rules Gemini, right? So we have this potential at this time, January 11th, 12th, 13th, for these ideas to be coming in. And they're beautiful, they're elegant, they're great ideas for problems that we need to address. So this is a really awesome, just a peach of an aspect. And it can be somewhat destabilizing because the ideas are coming in and you might feel, like you have that term airhead.
Yeah.
This could make you into an airhead.
All right.
If you're already, have a lot of air in your chart, just something to be mindful of. There's a lot of potential. As Mars stations direct in Gemini, there's a lot of potential with this trine to Venus and trine to Maki. Now, Venus rules Libra, where Maki is.
Yep.
So you see how things are really interconnected here.
Yeah. We can use that Earth trine to ground ourselves a little bit. That's happening the day before with the moon. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, moon in Virgo. But let me close out here. We have the sun on Friday, the 13th. The sun sextiles Neptune. So again, another note to follow your intuition.
Yep.
But the moon will square Mercury. Again, another caution, think before you speak.
Yeah. As
we roll into Saturday, the 14th, Venus squares Uranus. So this, again, is this something of an exciting opportunity.
Yeah.
This Uranian energy coupled with Venus, bringing in something creative. The moon will make a quincunx to Neptune. And that's just giving, again, that little check-in.
Yes. Yep.
That squeaky door,
Right. Yeah.
Step out of the way. If you're feeling a little out of sorts, just check, sit down, do a little meditation. You should be fine.
Yes.
So that's this week.
Excellent. As you were talking, 3 cards came out today, but I want to mention that the Ace of Wands seems to be kind of relevant here. What I love about this card is that there's all this air magic. It's like a magic wand coming out of the air, but the wand is made of tree, and it has leaves on it. And I feel like it's the nice combination of, if you can ground your energy, then you can definitely, with these ideas and things, the magic wand will have more power if you're grounded, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That's gorgeous, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll just mention too, the other card was the Hermit. But it sounds like that's, again, a kind of going in, making sure you have some stillness. I know with the beginning of the year, it can feel like we got to charge ahead, but maybe not this week.
No, definitely not this week, especially with this Mars stationing direct. You know, it really wants to charge ahead because it's been picking up. It's been dying to get out there and, stop cogitating about, turning things over and going backward and studying and restudying and looking at statistics and rereading policies and, it's trying to be good. But Mars in Gemini is not its favorite sign.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for breaking down the week. Listeners, if you want to get in touch, you can send us an email at connect@sisterstargazers.com. Don't forget to tune in on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern for our live call-in astrology show on WMPG.org. And we'll see you at episode 71.
Yeah, and ground those ideas, folks.
Yeah,
there's beautiful solutions out there waiting for us.
Thanks, Jude.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.